hate my life. January 2022. I'll be honest, this time last year, I was having counseling sessions. So I was speaking to a counselor. I took some time off work. I took a month off work. That gives me anxiety because I feel like, well, what am I doing here? Like, what's the point of everything? When I look back to this time last year, I was not in a good place mentally. Physically, I felt quite out of shape. I also just didn't have much confidence within myself. Yesterday, I turned 28 and I like to do a little yearly review every year. So I went to the coffee shop, bought myself a cappuccino, took my laptop out and wrote about how things were different compared to this time last year, how things were the same, what had changed, how I'd improved. Looking back, it became incredibly apparent that I had just completely transformed. I was in a better place mentally, physically. I'm so happy with my progress and where I am. I'm probably the fittest and I think it's the best I've ever looked. And I genuinely feel confident in myself. And I wish that for all of you who are watching this. And this is something that I've never really talked about on this channel, but I have struggled with my mental health for a fair few years. I think I'm naturally more prone to mental health issues just because of the way I'm wired. So I'll be honest, this time last year, I was having counseling sessions. So I was speaking to a counselor. Yeah, I learned so much about myself from doing that process, and it definitely helped me work some things out. I was struggling mentally and I felt anxious all the time. I was having not brilliant thoughts about things. I even considered, maybe going on some form of medication. I didn't in the end. But yeah, I wasn't doing particularly well. Let's just put it like that. And looking back through my year, there have been some consistent themes about things which have really helped me get to the place that I am now. The first thing is that you have to keep trying things. When I look back to this time last year, I was struggling because I didn't feel like I had a purpose. I didn't feel like I had a mission. And I feel like as humans, and definitely for me, because I'm very driven, ambitious, I'm that type of personality. When I don't have a goal or a vision or a mission, as I like to call it, that gives me anxiety because I feel like, well, what am I doing here? Like, what's the point of everything? And this time last year, without going into it, some things that I'd been working on for a long time, they weren't going that well, and it became apparent that mission needed to change. So I was at a bit of a crossroads with everything, and I just realized that I had to try things. Do I want to carry on making YouTube videos? Do I want to switch a job? Do I want to take some time off work? All of these different things, I tried the majority of them. I took some time off work. I took a month off work. Again, never talked about that before, but yeah, I took a month off work. At the start of the year, I had an inkling that I wanted to switch careers. So I started working on a project in work with people who are in that career. And it turns out that I really hate that career. I would never want to do that myself. And essentially, I tried so many things, and my advice to you would be you have to get over the fact that a lot of things that you try are going to fail. They're just not going to work. A lot of what you try is just a necessary step on the way to finding things that you actually do enjoy. So now, this time in 2023, still feels weird saying that, doesn't it? 2023. I have a mission. I'm working on something that I may or may not share on this channel. It's a business, so maybe I will share it. I'm super excited and I feel like I have that mission back, and it only came from trying a bunch of shit which didn't work. Like all of this stuff that I tried, I was just comfortable with the fact that a lot of them weren't going to produce anything. The second thing that came out of my yearly review was that you should be writing things down, and not so much journaling. You can journal, but what I do is I write a weekly review. So every single week, usually on a Sunday, I don't do it every week, but most weeks, I'll write down how that week went, what I enjoyed, what I didn't enjoy, what gave me good energy, what didn't give me good energy. What I noticed this year is that I had all of those entries to look back on, and you can see as you're looking through it, you can see the progress. It's like, right, hate my life, January 2022. I looked through all of the weekly reviews up until Jan 23, and now like I'm loving life. I don't think I've felt better, really. Document it somehow, whether you do a weekly review, whether you journal, write once a month, just write as much as you can, and you'd be surprised by how clear your thoughts become from writing stuff down. It's quite strange. It's quite weird. It's a superpower. Third thing, this is something that I go on about all the time: exercise. This time last year, I wasn't doing as much gym work. I was very much outside running. And, you know, running's great, but for me, there's nothing like being in the gym, lifting heavy weights, listening to loud music, surrounded by people all doing the same. And I think it's no coincidence that over the last year, I've probably been working out sometimes 6 or 7 days a week. And that's really helped me to deal with things mentally, but also I just feel so much better within myself. And I've also started training Muay Thai, which is Thai boxing. It's just like the purest form of competition, one-on-one, sparring with someone, doing drills, fighting. I just love it. If you are in a place at the moment where you're not feeling particularly great, are you exercising? That's usually my first question for people. Another common thing that I've noticed this year is just how important it is to have positive voices in your ears, whether it's podcasts, YouTube videos, listening to me, because, you know, I should be on there. But anything which is going to give you positivity and just not so much motivation, because I feel like motivation is overrated. But if you don't have like-minded people around you, listening to people who are like-minded can make you feel like they are around you in a sense, which is why podcasts are amazing. So try and find some people who you resonate with on the internet and just have them in your ears. For me, it's a go-to. Like if I'm in the car, there's a podcast on. If I'm at my desk working, there's usually a podcast in my ears, in my headphones. If you are struggling at the moment and you don't feel like there's ever going to be a case where you feel good, you feel confident, you feel not anxious, I'm here to tell you that keep trying stuff, keep healthy, keep active, journal, write stuff down. I make these videos mainly because I think I just feel indebted to the generation behind me, because I learned so many things from watching YouTubers that I just feel like I have to share these learnings, because even if I get one comment from someone who says, "Oh, Jack, this was a game changer for me and it switched things around," that's what makes it 100% worthwhile. If you do want more videos like this where I share my thoughts, I recommend watching this one here, where I talk about the 22 lessons that I learned in 2022 that will set you up for an amazing 2023. I'll see you over there.